This is the lube that I took out of the center diff on the Max. I did most all the tips on a channel Razor RC had on their channel on a video, but that center diff, he said, was pretty much locked. So I cleaned it out of there, and he said it was like a shoe goo, and it is. You can pretty much roll it in a ball, bounce it. We'll come back and look at that after a bit. Let it sit on the counter there. So what tuning tips did I do to the Max? And this is before I've even ran it. I got it. It was on the porch when I come home from work this afternoon. It's dark within an hour up here. Winter's coming on. Gets dark early. So I plugged a battery in, put batteries in the radio, and just started it up, turned it on, checked it out, held it up, spun the wheels. But before I even take it out, after watching lots of videos and reviews on this, we did most all the tuning tips that was on the video by Razor RC. So props to Razor RC. You watch his videos. I'll put a link to his tuning tip video. Go to his channel, watch his running videos before and after he tuned it. It's worth watching because it really a difference in how the truck handles. So first tip, lower the front shocks or soften them. It also lowers it some. The preload on the springs with this ring right here, and the back shocks raise them. And he's got it on there like 12mm gap here, I believe, and I don't remember what he said here, but that's about what he had on there. Did that. Second tip, move the front shocks out to the outer hole, so it lays them down a little bit more. There's not a lot of adjustment there, but like he said, the droop, when you hold the vehicle up, now the droop is less in the front end, slightly less in the front end than the back end. So I did that. Took the back shocks apart, and he was saying the 30 in the front seemed to be pretty good, and he went with he said 42 or 45 in the back. So I had 40 and 45 of them up here in the North Country. It's getting cold. I went with 40 back there. I'll try that. It wasn't hard. Didn't take long to pop them off and change the shock wheel. So that's done. The other thing, this bottom ball link joint here, he unscrewed it. I think he said a turn and a half, which would give a little more droop. He said there should be more droop in the back end than the front end. So I did not do that. I'm going to go with it like it is. He felt like it would no way pop out of the thread. I just didn't want to do that change. So another one was your battery tray to this piece of foam comes in the front. He felt it was a very rear biased weighting, and it wasn't not what you want, or it was too much on this vehicle. So that block of foam comes in the front. It's got self-adhesive tape. Just peel on it, lift it, hold it for a bit. It'll release, and then I pressed it back in here. So it's holding in there. The adhesive is fresh enough where it's right there, secured. So move that battery slightly forward. did that. I believe that was all of them. So if you look at how the vehicle is sitting now, it has a completely different stance to it. You can see it has a little bit of rake to it. Back is slightly higher than the front. And if I push in the center, it's like the front is a little bit softer than the back. So that should keep it from setting back, squatting on the back end acceleration, and the endos, especially on the endos on the center diff. Not as radical of reaction to the car and accelerate and decelerate. He said when you're accelerating, front wheels can bleed off a little bit of that excess power, and same with braking. You can do the endos because that center diff being locked, it doesn't bleed off when the weight comes off the back wheels. None of the braking bleeds off, so front end just bites and dives in. So several tuning adjustments already made before I even run it. We're really looking forward to taking this thing out tomorrow and seeing how it does. And here's a look at this lube for the center diff, rolled up in a ball. It's been sitting here while I was talking, and as you can see, it's taken that long. It's that heavy of a weight. It's taken that long to settle out from a ball. I mean, this stuff is, like I said, like Shugo. When I took that center diff out, I had to hold one end of the shaft with pliers and turn the other end. It has a flat end on it and a gear. It's got a pin going through it in a gear. So it took all the strength of my fingers just to turn it. Where now it's I took most all of it out, as much as I could, and I went with straight. So I just cleaned it all out real good, and I went with straight 50 weight. So I'll drop this stuff in a little plastic bag and save it if I need to go back to it. If I don't like how it's behaving, it's clean, it's thick. Put in that Ziploc bag and just save it in case I need it. But there she is, Traxxas Maxx, all bench tuned, ready to take it out and give her a go.